There's a couple of things that I have done, and it's because of you guys that I'm able to do this. So I can't thank you enough for this because it's literally because of you. I run a ferret rescue here in Washington State. So this is Maddie and this is Shay. And Shay is the lead caretaker and Maddie is a part-time caretaker for the ferret rescue now. And we actually have 50 ferrets in the rescue. And we do all of the medical for them. We do all the healthcare, everything we possibly can. Shay's actually an exotic vet assistant, so we take them into the vet anytime that we need to. We make sure that they get regular screenings. We screen them for things like insulinoma, which is a type of cancer. We make sure that they get checked for heart disease, which is very common in ferrets, and get them any medical treatments that they need. We don't euthanize because of cost, because of you. A lot of people have to euthanize ferrets because the cost of treatment is higher than they can afford, and because they're exotics, that's very common. Many procedures are between $1,000 and $5,000, so it's incredibly expensive. Is that at the home? Yes. So right now, we're going to be building the largest ferret rescue in the United States. That's the next stage of the things that I'm doing. And I'm talking to a number of contractors to build that facility. And we're going to be building a totally custom facility to do this, which is a whole thing. Are you able to adopt them? No. We keep them, it's a sanctuary, so we keep them for the rest of their lives. And they have the best possible interactions they can. This room is the prototype for that, to try and find out what is the normal capacity that we can reach inside of this. That's basically it's all set up for them, and they get to have this whole room and do everything that they want to do. And we keep different toys and it's like activity zones so that they can have enrichment. That's what that is. We allow visitors in the sanctuary once you get the new building. That's kind of the idea. We're planning on seeing how to do that in a way that is safe, you know. Why choose ferrets to do this? Ferrets, there was a real and present need for that because ferrets are exotic animals. They're generally overlooked because they're seen as small rodents, even though they're not. They're mustelids, like a badger. They're very expensive. They cost $400 at the pet store, and then on top of that, they also cost thousands of dollars in medical issues as they get closer to the end of their life. So they just get mistreated. Most rescues actually end up closing down because they don't have enough money to continue. That's the biggest problem. Most rescues run on charities. There's a couple reasons that I didn't go with making this a charity. I chose to not make a 501c, which is a charity, right? We chose not to do that. Number one, I didn't feel right having a charity that I was operating because then I could take money from my left hand and put it in my right hand and take a tax break, which I know is legal to do that under these conditions, but I thought it was dog shit. So I decided not to do that specifically because it just felt gross. Number two, it allows us to be able to use the revenue from the main business and put it into this with no problem and move all of that around in a way that is sane so that we can just keep running the rescue as a business and everything's fine. But the way we're able to run it as a business instead of running it as a charity is actually because of you guys. See, the thing about this channel and all the ferrets that we're taking care of, here they are in their night vision cage, by the way. There's 1,136 people watching this right now. It's a 24/7 stream that runs ads. This actually generates enough revenue off of ad revenue to run the entire rescue, including having staff members. Just watching that stream helps take care of them. And that is a pretty wild ass thing to do with ads on Twitch. It's really, really, really awesome. And that's what I've been trying to do is to try and turn ads on Twitch into something that isn't shitty. Problem with ferrets. Let me explain the whole thing of taking care of them. This is important to understand. Ferrets are what is called like a lifestyle animal. You have to change your lifestyle in order to take care of them. You need to have multiple ferrets because they're highly social animals. They have very heavy diet restrictions. They can only eat meat, bone, or egg. They are obligate carnivores. They have temperature requirements where they have to stay below 80 degrees Fahrenheit or they can die spontaneously. They can't regulate their body temperature. And then on top of everything else, lots of medical expenses. So it's a big commitment. And they only live 5 years in the United States. So you've got all of that in such a short amount of time. They're like a high maintenance animal. They're really high maintenance animal, dude. Why is it 5 years in the US? Bad genetics. Yeah, US breeding pool is really bad. So they get cancer and heart disease much higher rates. So they only live on average about 5 years. When you get like a 9-year-old ferret in the US, they look crunchy as shit. We've actually been able to extend the lives of a number of ferrets for multiple years. We've also paid tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills for ferrets that otherwise would have been euthanized. So I feel pretty happy about this. We've done a really good job with it. Show Henry war dancing? Sure. What ferrets do is they do a little jump to like scare prey and like play around with each other. Shay panicked during this, actually. Shay thought that Henry was having a seizure. Henry's 60% of his brain is scar tissue. We know that because we did an MRI on him to find out why he had neurological problems. He was born this way, likely from either a viral attack, which was the original thing, or from oxygen deprivation, which is more likely now. Watch this. This is him trying to war dance. Wait for it. So Shay's playing with him, and then he starts jumping, and look at him jump. He doesn't really quite know what he's doing, and Shay started freaking out and was like, what's going on? What's going on? And he's war dancing because he can't control his body very well. But you can see them do little war dances and stuff all the time. Like, see these down here? That's a war dance there. They're jumping around. They're chasing each other. That's the whole idea for that. So yeah, if you're wondering what we're going to be doing, we're testing this room to see maximum capacities, and we think we've hit max cap in here. So 50 per room is really the maximum that we want to do. What we're going to be doing next is we're building the largest rescue in the United States. We're splitting this up into multiple rooms. We're going to have it like this. So we're going to have 5 rooms up top. These will each have up to 50 for each one of those rooms. Each one of these is going to be set up with cages along it, playroom, everything like this. Cameras inside of it as well, and a door out the front. We kind of want to do like a double door sort of a thing. Yeah, there's 50. There's 48 right now in the rescue. Each room will have a camera. You guys will be able to swap between those. We're also going to do a laundry room in this, a quarantine room. These will have doors between them like this. And then we're going to do a medical bay over on this side. And I think there was something else. There was another type of room we were going to do it. We're going to do a secretary room in here, and this will lead to the outside. Be doors to the outside in each one of these as well. We're going to do up to 250 in total. Each one will support a stream, yeah. But we'll be having one stream that you swap between. If you don't realize, the whole idea behind this, man, is mostly the rescues that we've seen collapse. And the reason they collapse is because they don't have any type of funding outside of donations. And it's incredibly expensive because ferrets are exotic animals. So being able to do this entire rescue through ad revenue is huge. It also means that we can help give back to medical research for ferrets like we already have been in order to form new treatments to be able to help them, which is part of what we've been doing. And it's been working really, really well. So the treatments that we've been able to put together and like work with vets on and be able to get great success, like Mocha, for instance. Mocha, one of our ferrets, has disseminated idiopathic myofasciitis. And we were able to do an experimental chemotherapy on him when normally that's 100% a death sentence within weeks. He gets to live a full life now. It worked. And then we replicated it with Latte, and that worked. Now Latte gets to live a full life. And now we gave that information back to the veterinary, and the veterinary is going to be able to replicate this with other ones as well. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Like, we're knocking some of this shit out that otherwise most owners don't have the money to be able to handle it. But since we're running it as a rescue, and since you guys are watching the stream, it pays for all of that. That chemo is not cheap. It was like $450 a dose, and we had to do it for multiple weeks. But we were able to do this and not bat an eye at it because we get to do what's best for the animal, because you guys are funding it all but just by watching the stream. Why not nonprofit instead of a charity? Going through nonprofit shit is charity. And once you do a nonprofit, the amount of paperwork is immense. We wanted to keep it as part of the main business so that it does not have these problems. We don't run into any issues with how we want to use any of the funding in order to forward the research in any way that we need to. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to have a concern. We don't have to post a billion different pieces of paper or any of that shit. It's clean and easy. It's just a corporation. Shouldn't the med bay be next to the quarantine room? No, we want to do quarantine next to laundry because quarantine is going to be producing laundry that has to go directly to the laundry room, and we didn't want to contaminate the hallways. Yeah, it's probably going to be a kitchen. Yeah, because we can have blenders and fridges and shit in there because we're going to have to keep a lot of medication in the med bay room in fridges, and then a lot of stuff in the kitchen. How many people do you need for daily care? With 50, we need 2, and one of them only has to come in once a week. Shay does it every day. Shay's the lead caretaker, and then Maddie is a part-time now. Cost calculations and how much it's going to be for the building. So that's the biggest problem right now. We don't know. I'm in the middle of talking to 2 different contractors. I'm trying to get quotes. And the hardest part is like not only determining what we're going to build, the exact spot we're going to build it, material costs, time of year, everything goes along with that, right? Based on the fact that we're already in August, the construction for this, as far as I can tell, would likely start next year because they have to wait until after like the snow, because it's going to snow here. This will be a purpose-built facility? Yes, we're building this. One of the things you guys may not realize, I moved. The moment that the stream took off, I moved. And I got a smaller house. So my house shrunk in size, but I got a lot of land. And the reason I got all that land was so I could build the ferret rescue on it if anything went right. And it kept going right. So now we're building that. Yeah, we actually just got our veterinary software hooked up today. So I had a meeting with the vet software company. So now we have tracking for all of the animals. We have medical documentation for everybody, and we can now start keeping records. And the company that I went with allows us to have this on any mobile device as well. So we can have a phone and do it. We can have this on a tablet, anything we want to. We can put it up in monitors and everything on there to show all of the animals that are in each one of the rooms, so we can keep tracking for the facility anytime we want to. My hope is that we can build a system to display some of that information to you guys so you can see what's going on, like who's in what area. And I want to do it through an extension on Twitch. So when you're watching the stream on Twitch, you'll be able to pull up an extension and see all the animals that are in the room that is currently tagged